Hey everyone, back tuning into this evening's update to the, I think it's a 22nd Christmas update. Now, we're nearly at the end of these, of course, because Christmas is coming into view. I think it's only 5 days away, so we really are down to the crunch with it now. And we're going to have a lot of rain, a lot of mild weather, I think, for this Christmas. Although the charts tonight are just beginning to look a little bit interesting for the new year. So I will extend this out to the new year, and we'll see what it's showing through the whole of the Christmas week. There'll probably be one more update on Tuesday evening. That'll be the final one. And then, of course, we're on into Christmas. On Christmas Eve, I'll be doing the week ahead forecast for the Christmas week going up to the new year. So, been a very enjoyable ride. I hope you've enjoyed all of the Christmas updates, and as I say, still got this and another one to do. But before you go on with that, just say about the ads. There's 6 articles on the page of Gazwell. Please have a browse the widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks so much for doing that. This video ads to most pages, which open up in the content when you watch them. They'll close back up again. It's all helping to pay for the website. So thanks so much for getting involved, and thanks for doing that. I'm going to start on Wednesday, the 23rd, just before Christmas Eve, and we're in a westerly flow here. It'll be a little bit cooler than it's going to be on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to get another push of very mild air Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday should be a little bit cooler. You see that with your upper air temperatures, that things are a bit cooler. So we've got showers in the northwest, but many places actually dry. It looks quite a nice day. And temperature's still mild in the south. I mean, 10 or 11 is very mild, actually, for middle part of December. But, of course, because it's been so mild, it will feel a little bit on the chilly side. And actually, for central and northern parts of the country, down into single digits, which is where we should be at this point. It is, well, into winter now, of course, so we should be into single digits with the temperatures. But, again, it'll probably be a little bit of a shock to the system after how mild it's been. We go through into Christmas Eve, and we bring now you've low pressure and a weather system through across the country. So, well, that's going to bring some quite heavy rain into the UK. The upper air temperatures will be turning a bit colder behind that as well for the north. There's that band of rain sweeping across the country through the course of Christmas Eve. So, it does look a pretty wet and miserable day, I have to say, with sunshine and showers following on behind. And as the air turns a bit colder, those showers might turn wintry across the very far north and west of Scotland, particularly, of course, over high ground, but possibly a little bit on lower ground as well. Here's the temperatures, still very mild in the southeast at 10 to 12, but most places going down into mid-single figures, so 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees will feel quite chilly compared to what we've been used to through December so far. On Christmas Day itself, this is the chart for midday of Christmas Day. We've got a bit of a battle taking place. Mild air is trying to pump up from the south with colder air from the northwest, and there's an active weather system in with this as well, associated with this area of low pressure out west. Quite a complex situation, this, but it does mean there could be quite a bit of rain in places. Excuse me. Here's the upper air temperature showing that England and Wales has a very mild Christmas Day. Scotland, Northern Ireland and parts of Northern England look quite a bit colder. So there's quite a lot of rain there across Ireland, England and Wales in particular. Could be a pretty wet day, especially later on when the rain could turn heavier from the west. So Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England will have a seasonably cool feeling Christmas Day with temperatures of around 6, 7 or 8 degrees. Perhaps a bit colder across Scotland, just 4 or 5 up there. England and Wales, though, looks significantly milder, or central southern parts of England and Wales at around 10 to 14 Celsius. Very mild on the south coast. We go through into Boxing Day, and again, we've got this bit of a battle going on here. We've got pressure trying to build to the north, some colder air. We've got very mild air pumping up from the south, courtesy of this big ridge across many parts of Europe. And then we've got a weather front again through central parts of the country. So the milder air has extended northwards again across many parts of the country. But notice it is cold across central and northern Scotland. So quite a tight temperature gradient. Could fuel a fair amount of heavy rain. So we're looking at very wet conditions for England and Wales. As that pushes northwards into Scotland, don't rule out the chance of some snow across central and northern parts of Scotland. Could be quite significant snow with such a big temperature gradient where you're on the line between the cold air and that very mild air. The precipitation will be heavy, and there is the potential there for some transitional snowfalls. But I have to emphasise this is the central northern Scotland. It isn't for the vast majority of the country where it will be mild and wet. Very mild temperatures on Boxing Day, widely up to 13 or 14 Celsius, but notice how much colder it is across central and northern Scotland, barely above freezing up there. So winter is trying to get in. Well, that's all resolved by the time we go through to Sunday the 27th, and then the high pressure just builds through the country within relatively mild air. So the temperatures in the north are still quite cool, especially across central northern Scotland, but much of the country actually is mild. And then we go through into the 28th of December. We've got high pressure across central parts of Europe, low pressure out in the Atlantic, bringing these southerly winds in. So the temperatures look fairly mild again on Monday the 28th, 9, 10, 11 degrees, quite widely with those southerly winds. Now, as we go through towards the new year, this is Tuesday the 29th, and the high pressure beginning to build over Scandinavia as these areas of low pressure starting to stall a bit in the Atlantic. Winds are still mild and from the south, but whenever we see this sort of pattern with high pressure in over Scandinavia, but low pressure stalling in the Atlantic, it starts to get a bit interesting, and we have to keep an eye on what the atmosphere is doing. We've got rain coming into the west, and temperatures are a little bit cooler actually because we're bringing in the continental flow, so we're going down towards single figures. Not cold, but it is a bit cooler. 30th of December, again, low pressure to the west, high pressure over Scandinavia, bringing in these southerly, southeasterly winds. There's quite a deep cold pool sitting to the east of us if we don't tap into it, but subtle changes possibly will start to bring that colder out our way. Actually, we look very mild, windy, and probably quite wet, with very heavy rain coming in to the west with that low pressure stalling across the country as well. And the temperatures around 9 or 10 degrees. New Year's Eve, look at this, low pressure begins to start to move down towards the Bay of Biscay as this high pressure up to 1,040 millibars over Scandinavia, beginning to shift the wind slightly into a southeasterly direction. It's still mild with the upper air temperatures, and there's a lot of rain across the country. It'll be a very wet New Year's Eve. But notice, very deep cold pool just up to the east of us over the continent. We've got to watch out for what's going on here. And in terms of the temperatures, still generally mild, but you don't have to go very far east to find the temperatures going sub-zero, quite interestingly. And then New Year's Day, we're a long way out now, 288 hours, but New Year's Day does continue this battle with low pressure to the west, high pressure over Scandinavia. We have these weather fronts strung out across the country, still probably producing a lot of rain, very wet start 2016, and going through the first week of January. Well, eventually, this is as far as we can go, 384 hours away, but low pressure does finally move down to Biscay. The high pressure over Scandinavia really takes over, and we begin to push the winds into the east. Very deep cold pool there sitting over Scandinavia, possibly threatening quite a dramatic plunge into winter for early January. Now, this is really in the realm of speculation. What the GFS is doing tonight is very different to what we've seen so far. So, just file it under quite interesting, but don't be getting too carried away about things just yet. As far as Christmas is concerned, we have got the pattern now down for that, and it is looking very unsettled with quite a lot of rain, possibly some snow in the north if rain gets that far north by Boxing Day. Will be colder in the north, so it'll feel a bit more seasonable up there on Christmas Day, but very mild in the south. And as we approach New Year, could we start to shift towards a Scandinavian high and something perhaps a little bit more wintry for the start of 2016? Watch this space. That's it for now then, and thanks for watching.